Well, originally why people were coming here, or why American people were coming anywhere, you know, the white man from back east, why they were coming here was for medicinal purposes. The water was thought to be curative in some way. And people were coming here, often at a doctor's recommendation, to be treated for something, either arthritis or something wrong with their feet or whatever. The water was thought to be good for different parts of your body. So they were coming here to be treated for an illness.
So people who were attracted to this area, the Native Americans would use these thermal waters for healing, a lot of their ailments for aches and pains. People were soaking in the springs to heal their pain and their stiff backs. People had arthritis or mobility issues. People were coming to hot springs for gout or stomach problems, a lot of diseases. And they thought that these waters were very, very healing, and they would soak in the tubs and they would drink the water. So not only were they healing the outside of their body, but they were also healing the inside of their body as well.
Okay, first thing to understand about the Thermal Water Hot Springs National Park is it is not heated by a volcano. There's no dragon underground. It is a natural process. There's a phenomenon called the geothermal gradient, and it's a naturally occurring thing in the earth, and especially as an average across the entire planet. If you go 70 feet deep, it'll get 1 degree warmer. So for every one of those 70 feet, as you go deeper and deeper into the earth, it's getting warmer and warmer as you approach the center of the earth. Okay, so where our hot water is coming from, it's falling as rain. About 4,000 years ago, it fell as rain onto Indian Mountain in the what's called the recharge zone. It sprinkles down through the ground, or it travels through all the broken up chert, the special type of stone that's in this area in the Ouachita Mountains. And it trickles down to about 8,000 feet. And at that depth, it's so hot, the earth itself is so hot at that depth that the water is heated. And then it's pushed by the weight of the water in the system, the hydrostatic pressure. It's pushed against a fault line that's right along the west side of Hot Springs Mountain. And it's forced back to the surface a lot faster than it trickled down in the first place, so it doesn't have time to cool off as it's coming out. So in the discharge zone where the thermal springs are, its water is coming out of the ground at about 143 degrees average. There are 47 springs, about 143 degrees, and in 24-hour period, you'll get about 700,000 gallons of water out of it. Besides the thermal water that's in the park area, there are a lot of cold water springs all over Garland County. And there used to be companies besides Mountain Valley Water. There were lots of bottling companies that sold cold water. And there was a DeSoto Water, and there was a Sleepy Valley Water. There was several different companies in town that sold bottled water. Mountain Valley is one of the oldest and the one that's the largest and still survives. But it's not thermal water. It's not thermal water that's cooled. It's just cold water coming out of the surface of the earth.
So here at Hot Springs National Park, we have some jug stations at the end of our property. One is in front of our admin building, and people come from all over. A lot of the locals, people come from neighboring states, and they fill up their jug at the hot water jug stations. We do not bottle the water. We do not sell the water. It is free. It is the American people's water. This water, we are the only national park mandated to give our #1 resource away. And that #1 resource is the hot thermal water. So you can drink that water. You can touch it, you can see it, and you can also taste it at our jug stations and at the Shell Fountain.
When people started, originally when people were coming here, it was for medicinal purposes. Along about 1900 and into the 1920s, the shift began to be more to a spa. Hot Springs became more of the Great American Spa visit than it was for a medicinal visit. So over time, the reason that people were coming here changed a little bit, because it was discovered that the water really wasn't curing anything, it was just making you feel better. Originally, they were thinking they were cured from things because it was clean air, clean water, getting exercise, relaxing in nature. They were coming from places back east where they didn't have clean water to drink, they didn't bathe regularly. There were lots of things that when they come here into a cleaner environment, you're just going to naturally start to feel better. But later on, it began to be just more fun to come here. So people that could afford it would come here by train, and they would stay, they would bathe in the mornings, and they would stroll in the afternoons on the Grand Promenade or out front on the Magnolia Promenade. And then they would recreate in the area on the mountains, you know, walking, hiking, for exercise and to interact with people. It was a big part of the social interaction was a big part of the treatment when you came here. So there was a shift originally from medicinal purposes and coming here on a doctor's prescription to coming here as a recreation, a vacation.
So if you take away the town, you take away the streets, you take away the businesses across the street, take away all the bathhouses and all of the shops around town, this entire mountainside here below Hot Springs Mountain was steaming full of springs. There was a ton of springs that were steaming and rolling into a creek. Outside, the sidewalk that you walked in on, that is a creek. The creek still exists, but it is now in a creek arch. But back in the day, before the bathhouses were built, that was an open creek, and all that thermal water would flow into the creek and flow into the lakes out of town. So it would flow into the Lake Washita, Lake Hamilton as well. So it was a very natural area.